welcome to Variety Conversation. I am Lady Walker. The city of Louisville, Kentucky will pay the family of Breonna Taylor $12 million in a civil wrongful death lawsuit settlement. Breonna Taylor was a 26-year-old African-American woman who on March 13, 2020, was gunned down in her bed when police officers Myles Cosgrove, Brett Hankison, and Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly broke down Taylor's door as part of a late-night no-knock search warrant. In trading gunfire with Taylor's boyfriend Kenneth Walker, who mistook the officers for intruders, police fatally shot Taylor 8 times. The agreement included a plan to implement police reforms, commanding officers signing off on search warrants, a housing credit incentive for police officers to live in low-income neighborhoods to foster community connections, mandatory volunteering sessions, and social worker assisting with mental health calls. The Louisville City Council has already passed Breonna's law, which banned no-knock search warrants. Many people are not feeling this $12 million lawsuit settlement without justice being served to the 3 police who were involved in this situation. Taylor's family has not given up hope for criminal charges. Attorney Lonita Baker said, "The settlement is just a start. We have finished the first mile in a marathon and we got a lot more miles to go." Baker noted that a federal civil rights investigation into Taylor's death is also pending. Y'all, it may look like it's over because of the $12 million civil lawsuit settlement, but the criminal case is supposedly still be in the works, okay? Let's check and see what some commenters think about this situation. T. Hot and Cold says, they don't need any hush money. They need justice for their daughter's murder. And I say, yep, they need both, the money and justice. How about that? Bond Free, Die Free says, what they need is a country of executive branch that doesn't act like Navy SEALs looking for bin Laden. Military-style police was glorified on cops, and their budgets for that is taken from serious issue in the communities. I hope someone is held accountable, but I have my doubts. Skywalker says, nah, they need the money too. White people sue for $100 million and win if they break a fingernail, and you want black people to get nothing on a wrongful death? New Jack Hustler Jeter says, all of the money in this land of milk and honey isn't going to bring Breonna back, and these 3 pigs are still running loose and not thrown in jail for killing her. Triple Darkness said to Skywalker, it's not about the money. That's an incentive and a great one, but justice needs to be served. White people get money and justice. Brendan Harris says they need justice for their daughter. The cops involved need to be arrested. Keyshannon Jeter says those 3 pigs need to be under the jail. We'll be the icing on the cake. Solar Deport says, not quite. This was only a civil settlement. Criminal cases is in the hand of the grand jury. Payment is actually admitting they did something wrong, which could help the criminal case. Miss Michi says they would love for this to soften the blow and make the situation go away, but it's not. Mr. Powell says there is no such thing as police reform. It's a trick phrase. How you gonna reform white supremacist race soldier? Remember the police force started out as slave catchers? Look it up, peeps. That $12 million payoff comes out of taxpayers' pocket, not the police budget, as well as the $500,000 that will also go to the police department's pocket. Look it up, peeps. It's all still stinks to high heavens. Big Papa 1967 says, how much of that $12 million will they have left once the smoke clears? Nope. Blood should be thicker than any amount of money thrown at the Taylor family. Justice should be the main focus. John Kennedy says, after taxes, lawyer fees, administration fees, the family will be left with $1 million for them to fight over. Shaking my head. Doggone it, we fell for it again. Billy T3 says, about $3 million. Yvonne Maywell says, the city settlement to get out of the headlines. These officers should be in jail for murder. No chest cameras? Joni Romaine Thomas says, reform a devil and a pig? Please. Remove qualified immunity. That in itself would shake up their system. Lisa Hayden says, at the end of the day, it is a public issue and the public will continue to demand justice regardless of the family. Now, I like that. At the end of the day, it is a public issue and the public will continue to demand justice regardless of the family. Exactly, because there will be many families who may experience this and will probably settle out of court. Okay? But thank God, that there will be people who will continue to demand justice. And not only that, there's a possibility, even though the families settle for that lawsuit, the possibility is that they will continue to fight for justice regardless. Okay, we can't discount that because they settled for that $12 million. Mr. Blow Your Whistle says, might as well gave your killer a hug. Okay, let me read that one again. Mr. Blow Your Whistle said you might as well gave your killer a hug. Okay, what he is referring to is that Bolton John and the ex-police killer Amber Geiger, who went into the black guy's apartment, Bolton John, and killed him, saying that she mistaken his apartment for hers. And during the court, Bolton John's brother gave the killer cop Amber Geiger a hug. Oh my word. Anyway, that is what he's talking about when he says, might as well gave your killer a hug. Tiffany Johnson says, you are so right. The people of Louisville are going to pay $12 million in their taxes. The police officers may not even live in Louisville area, just work there. So their taxes won't be effective. In Detroit, the cops back in the day got around the resident rule by buying a house for the address but didn't live there. Those police officers are not going to be charged. We all know better. Staglag Alter Ego says, you can't reform 600 years of racism and an institution grown out of slave patrol mentality. You can dismantle it. Okay, Seagate says, you never get nowhere with the police when the people they recruit are bad people to start with. There is some good police, but most are crooks preying on our societies. Yara A says, my opinion is that the worst thing about racism is that it has people of color looking at other people of color through blue-eyed lenses. Wow, that's interesting. That's an interesting saying, that racism is that it has people of color looking at other people of color through blue eyes lenses. Oh, my word. Jackie Archer says they aren't going to arrest those cops because the no-knock warranty was a law at the time. So they kicked her door in, her boyfriend shoots and they shoot back. And sadly, Breonna is killed. We need to know what laws are governing us. I recently found out that where I live had the same law. The mayor got rid of it. Thank goodness. We need to research the laws where we live, and any of them as crazy as this one, we need to get them removed. Please be active, and not only when these horrible things happen to us. Now, y'all, that is something to think about. That is something to think about. We certainly need to investigate or research whether we have these laws in the state, the city, or town wherefore we live. That is something to think about. Thinking Man of 1978 says police are way too aggressive and are seldom punished for hurting people. Last but not least, Alan Jones says the Australian woman killed by the Somali American cop received $20 million. But what he's saying is that her family received $20 million. Now, the former Minneapolis police officer name is Mohammed Noor. He was convicted of third-degree murder and was sentenced to more than 12 years in prison, and he is serving time in an out-of-state prison for his safety. Yes, about a year or a year and a half later, he was convicted of the Australian woman's murder. Now, she had dual citizenship of the U.S. and Australia, and of course, he was black. You know, even though he was Somali American, he was looked upon as being black. And yes, he got sentenced to more than 12 years in prison, and her family was awarded $20 million. So when it comes to Breonna Taylor's situation, yes, her family got that settlement of $12 million, which they won't get the whole $12 million. And again, the criminal case hasn't actually happened, but it is still in progress. Now, the possibility that these 3 cops, white cops, can and may get off. So, you know, that's one of those we'll wait and see, because this really happened mighty quick with the settlement. They got something cooking behind the scenes. Anywho, well, there you have it, beloved. Feel free to share your perspective on the situation. And in the meantime, y'all come back to visit me when you can. Okie doke. Ta-ta.